won't settle, won't sleep or stay. Signals live, baby, on the Palmetto Racing Network waves, where the roots run deep, gators bite, and the mean serpents play. Fumes and the engines louder than bombs. Only two things known to live long: champions, legends, stock car engine. The roughest, toughest bunch of motorsports, the wildest crowd you ever seen before. Palmetto lights burning through the low country road. Champions, legends, stock car engine. Palmetto lights burning through the low country road. Network of choice for the bold, for the free. Every roar, every voice on the air, on the screen. What they hear, what they know, where they've been, what they seen. Every turn, every burn, Palmetto carries the speed. Mean serpents, roughest, loudest, on scene, on stream. The roughest, toughest bunch of motorsports, the wildest crowd you ever seen before. Palmetto lights burning through the low country road. Champions, legends, stock car engine. Palmetto lights burning through the low country road.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Palmetto Racing Network for another regular season race here with the Palmetto Racing League's StreetStock Series live, coming to you from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. 125 laps of some short track action tonight. Should be another interesting race here to the playoffs as we are nearing closer. One more race left in this 5-week period, and that would be Oxford Plains next week before they get a week off. So without further ado, while some of these drivers are taken out to the track currently to get in their qualifying laps, so let's go ahead and take a look at our race info for this one. This is the regular season race number 14 here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Broadcast brought to you tonight by VB Racing. Shout out to those guys. Track length here, just over a mile. You can see the temperature out there about 66 with a track temperature of about 92 degrees Fahrenheit. So quite warm. Should help the tires grip here some. Keep things hopefully running smoothly for this one. So let's get some glances up out here around the track currently, as we see the 27 of Aaron Martin there out there getting his qualifying laps in. 5 minutes of lone qualifying, 2 laps per driver to determine the grid position here tonight on this one. And while we're thinking about it, let's go ahead and talk points before this one gets underway here. Current point standings right now, as everything sits, has the number 40 of Zachary Audette in first place with 421 points, and just behind him is the 25 of Stephen Gall, who has been pretty dominant out on the track here in this series. Be interesting to see how he places tonight. And then there's the 45 of Brent Thompson with 416 points. The 74 of Kyle Simmons sitting in fourth. Aaron Martin there we just seen out on the track in the 27 car with 320 points. Mr. Doyle Boyd in the 001 with 313. Aaron Vogt in the number 2 car, who is also happened to make it in tonight, sitting in 7th place there with 217 points. We've got Gunnar Fix in the 71 still sitting at 164. A couple of these drivers mentioned have since withdrawn. We need to get those standings updated and get those drivers removed so it's not as confusing, so I apologize for that one. And then we have down in number 10, 10th place there, Justin Harris in the 7, who happened to make it in tonight also, sitting at 138, so we should see his points go up next week when we take a look at these points here again. So let's go ahead and get those off the screen here. We'll get some of our track info up. Looks like currently no one out on the track. We've got just under a minute now before grid up here, so we'll be ready to get this one underway. While we got just under a minute here, go ahead and talk about some news that was dropped today from the commissioner. PRL has made an announcement today that something new is coming next season, and they mentioned and highlighted team ownership, driver contracts, salaries, and damage costing drivers and teams money, and said that this will completely change how PRL works, and they will release more details as soon as they can, but for now that is all the information we have on that. So interesting dynamic and twist being put on the league here, basically adding in an economy scale and contracts. That's pretty interesting. So it looks like we now have our grid up results. Let's see if it's going to cooperate tonight, and it does. The 25 of Stephen Gall with the pole position tonight. Fastest time there of looks like 33.986. Justin Harris in the 7 with the second fastest time there. Aaron Martin in the 27 with the 3rd fastest time. Kyle Simmons with 4th. Brent Thompson starting in 5th tonight. Aaron Vogt in the 2 starting in 6th. And Mr. Doyle Boyd starting in 7th. So that is your official starting grid lineup. Let's go ahead and get all of our information banners up and rolling here as we get ready to get this one underway. Drivers now getting gridded up. Looks like for the most part everybody is all in place here and ready to get this one underway as we wait for the pace car driver's signal here. And they are off. Getting so close to playoff season, you can smell it. It's crazy to think that these guys are almost wrapping up the regular season here. It feels like just yesterday they got started here with the regular season. And now we're already talking playoffs and things of that nature. We are going to try to make a change to our timing tower here over the next week at least. We'll hope to have it ready by the last 5 races of the season here.
Green, green, green.
And the drivers are green as we get this one underway here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We're going to try and make a change to the drivers' names there and highlight all the drivers currently in the playoff running, which the way the grid has been going here lately. would be just about all of these guys. A lot of other drivers having some issues with committing to being able to show up. One driver facing a suspension right now over something completely out of his control from an official series. As we get the laps up here, lap 2 of 125 complete now. Justin Harris going all the way down on the shoulder down there. Now out in front of the 25 of Stephen Gall.
I'm sorry. Here, you take it.
Things getting a little tight there in the turn as the 25.
I'm not going to pass it that way.
25 of Stephen Gall apologizing to the 7 of Justin Harris there. A little bit of door banging going on between the two, but the 25 quickly made it right there. Single file formation for the most part there. I think everybody's just kind of trying to find their groove here. Should have some opportunities with 125 laps. That is 125 miles just over of racing here tonight, with the track configuration being about just a little over a mile. So we should have some plenty of opportunities for some green flag pit stops here, as these drivers are still running with their 30% fuel cap. Should be a good bit of room there for these guys to come in, take some fuel, possibly tires. It is still it's a decent sized short track, but it is still a short track nonetheless. So you can expect tire wear to be probably pretty significant here with the turns here at New Hampshire. So we'll see how those drivers manage that and see what happens when these guys come in for their green flag pit stops here. Ooh, couple of drivers getting a little bobbing and weaving going on out there on the track as the 7 of Justin Harris jumping down in the shoulder. As the 25 of Stephen Gall now takes back over the first place position there. A little side-by-side action from the 7 of Justin Harris and the 45 of Brent Thompson. Brent Thompson getting the better of that one in the turn there for now as they hit the straightaway here. Looks like he is going to do his best to try and hold on to that second place position as the drivers come around the turn now, going into lap 7 of 125. If things stay this way, the lap should just breeze right on down to the finish of the race. We'll see how likely that is to happen. Things are going to get a bit more hectic as the tire wear kicks in here. This kind of track configuration probably going to take a good 17 to 25 laps for the tire wear to really start making a noticeable difference out there. And possibly fuel as well too. We know the street stocks are a little better handled on fuel than some of your bigger horsepower engines, but not sure just exactly how much. I did not get a chance to talk to any of the drivers during practice to kind of pick their brains a little bit and see about how much they were getting to a tank of fuel. But that's all right. We'll figure it out here shortly when these guys do decide to make their first pit stop. And we'll try to keep our eyes on it as they enter pit lane to see just how many of them take tires, if any. Maybe the first green flag pit stop goes kind of just a fuel pit stop and back out. Nobody wanting to go a lap down right off the jump. We'll have to see what the strategy is here tonight. I honestly couldn't tell you what I would do in this situation. A little hard to tell. Honestly, can't remember if I have raced New Hampshire before. I want to say I have, but after a while, the tracks just kind of start to look the same. There's the 7 of Justin Harris there, cruising in third currently, with the 45 of Brent Thompson up there behind the 25 of Stephen Gall. Looking like he is going to take his time here and plot his next move. Let's get our driver dashboards up here. Give you a little bit more of a look at what these drivers' speeds are looking like here. It's a 7 of Justin Harris running about 120-ish on the straights there, coming into the turns, dropping down to at around 90 to 100 or so between him and the 74 of Kyle Simmons there. Everyone keeping it pretty clean so far. No complaints there. Knock on wood, don't want to talk anything up. We do have a tendency to do that from time to time. .25 of Stephen Gall still holding on to his lead there as the 45 of Brent Thompson comes up from the outside, hanging on to his second place position as well. Aaron Vogt now in the 2, running in 6th, and Mr. Doyle Boyd there is about 15 seconds behind the leader, so trying to make his way back up to the pack there. Check our incident log real quick and just make sure he didn't have any, doesn't look like he had any incidents on track. Maybe just got a little loose possibly. And lost some time there on that one. Hopefully he can catch back up to the pack here. Get himself back in the flow of things. Couple of these drivers double dip and run in the street stocks and also the trucks as well, but a lot of them will be faced with a decision come September. They will have to pick to either hold on to their rank and possibly get moved up into the brand new series that will be coming to fruition in September, the SRX series, or if they would rather stay in the ranks of the truck series and hang limbo for a couple of seasons until SRX gets stabilized and ARCA gets stood up and stabilized. A bunch of new exciting things coming this league's direction, and should definitely keep an engaging and interesting experience happening here for these drivers. Really give them a feel for earning their place in the current series that they run. And then also, you know, from the announcement we just read to you earlier, start adding in some management here for a possibility of team owners and also independents, guys running without a team, gonna have to manage repairs and things, and actually having an account balance to pay for damages and purse money and things of that nature. So definitely some exciting things coming to the league in the very near future. Definitely some more conversation pieces for us to be talking about here on the broadcast. As the 7 of Justin Harris makes it past the 45 of Brent Thompson. The 45 goes to the inside there, going to try to get his footing back a little bit, but isn't successful. As the 7 of Justin Harris now has the 25 of Stephen Gall in his sights, trying to close in on the gap between the two there. 17 laps completed in this one now, make that 18. We are moving right along through this race here. Been really clean and competitive. Couple of passes going on out there, battles. The 2 of Aaron Vogt now in 5th, as the 27 of Aaron Martin is now a lap down. Let's check our incident log there and see. Looks like he entered pits there. Not sure if he was having some difficulties or what may have happened. We don't have a wreck or incident on the incident log, so hopefully everything is all good and well. This Mr. Doyle Boyd now has fell behind a little further. Looks like the leader of the 25 of Stephen Gall currently gaining on his position, getting ready to place him a lap down as well. Try to wake our cameraman up here. I believe he may be a little, maybe sleeping on the job possibly again, as he is fixated on the 7 of Justin Harris. Maybe that's where he figures the excitement's going to be, as the leader of the 25, Stephen Gall, now passing the 001 of Mr. Doyle Boyd, now placing him a lap down. So 2 drivers a lap down currently, Mr. Boyd and Mr. Aaron Martin there in the 27. Cameraman is apparently not responding. He wants to keep the action on the 7 of Justin Harris, as we are now up to lap 22 here. Lap 23 this time around. Justin Harris just kind of hanging on to that position there. Let's take a look here at the the 45 of Brent Thompson, riding pretty comfortable in 3rd place right now, as the 7 of Justin Harris is now slowly creeping up on the 25 of Stephen Gall. Let's see if he goes for a pass here, just 0.02 of a second behind him. Quickly making up some time here. A little bit of fluctuation there, but not too much. Gonna see if the 7 can get it done and get around the 25 of Stephen Gall. Been a pretty good battle here so far. You have to wonder just about how much we've got left to go before these drivers branch off and hit pits. Try and get some fuel and some tires. Yeah, about now is where I estimated for the tire wear to really start showing up, as the 7 of Justin Harris made a quick move there to the outside before coming back inside. Looks like he's going to try and take on that inside lane there to get around the 25 of Stephen Gall. Maybe getting a little bit of an edge there on the straightaway coming into the turn here. And he's going to try get close. The 7 got a little squirrely there. Oh, a little bit of a love tap to the 25. So far, so good, though. Will he be successful this time through? Neither driver really looking to back down, as the 7 of Justin Harris just did get his nose out for a brief second there, but you see the 25 quickly got it back. Now it's about who's going to be able to hold on to it here in this one. Both drivers right there neck and neck with one another. Neither one willing to give an inch here, but the 7 of Justin Harris just does get out past the 25 there. And they keep on jockeying back and forth. They're going to keep this one close for as long as they can. Going back and forth with the trade-offs here. Not much room working in between them, as a little bit of contact made there. Doesn't look like it was enough to affect much, but at the rate that they're going, somebody's going to have to give a little here. We may wind up having our first caution of the evening. As the 7 of Justin Harris shoots in, trying to make effective use of the shoulder down there. Maybe shorten his time just a little bit to give him an edge here, but nothing doing in this one. 25 of Stephen Gall keeps it. They keep trading off back and forth. And looks like the rate that they're going, we're going to have a battle down to the very end here. Now made it 30 laps on this tank of fuel, so we've got to be wondering where the pit strategy is going to come in here. Still plenty of racing left to go in this one. The 7 of Justin Harris going to fall back just a bit now. No longer side by side here. Looks like he may be trying to refigure his strategy here. Tried for several laps there to get around, and to no avail. A little bit of distance here now between the 45, the 74, and the 2. A little bit spread out on the track. I think a lot of these guys are just trying to be a little bit conservative here to keep from being involved in incidents, and maybe even relying some here on the pit strategy. Maybe gaining them some position in this one. We'll have to see how that plays out. Once the 2 of Aaron Vogt going ahead and shooting into the pits there. Gonna go ahead and make his pit stop now. So that usually he's one that doesn't come in until the very last lap. So that should mean that these guys here should also be getting ready to do the same thing, or run the risk of running out of fuel on the track here, and that would definitely be something. As the 7 of Justin Harris now getting out front just a bit, but now the 25 of Stephen Gall takes it back over. Bouncing back and forth here. Surprised our timing tower has not gotten confused. How many more laps do these guys have it left in the tank here? Sounds like somebody made some contact with the wall, trying to take
I even tried letting off for you right there. I saw you trying to come up to clear, and it was just a little too late for me letting off. All good, that was my fault.
These guys definitely
Really killer battle though.
Definitely having a nice little battle there.
Yeah, that was fun.
I don't foresee that being the last of it, though. I'll look for these guys to pit around the same time, possibly, and neither one knows what the other's gonna do. So we'll see. We'll see how that pit strategy fares here. It looks like the 2 of Aaron Vogt, possibly
25 fitting.
25 be coming in this time as well, but maybe the 2 of Aaron Vogt there possibly taking some tires. He spent a good deal of time in the pits there. Let's take a look here.
I'm pitting in here.
So there is our pit stop times there. You see the 2 of Aaron Vogt there. Looks like he took about 80 seconds of pit time, if those calculations are correct. So maybe possibly had some damage repaired. Not entirely sure. So definitely took tires though, for sure. Let's take a look at these 2 guys here. Everybody gonna make their way into pits. You see the 7 of Justin Harris taking tires. The right side of the car lifted up there. See if he takes left sides too. The cameraman now wants to do his job effectively. I do believe the 7 also took tires. Look like the 74 of Kyle Simmons gonna take left sides now. 45 of Brent Thompson coming through, currently in first place. Things gonna switch up a bit here now as the 27 of Aaron Martin and the 001 of Mr. Doyle Boyd now back on the lead lap here. Justin Harris coming out of pits, it looks like. Aaron Vogt in the 2, now 2 laps down, now a lap down. Easy to go a lap down here, man. These green flag pit stops, they can really mess you up if you take too much time in the pits. Definitely something that keeps this whole thing interesting now, as the 27 of Aaron Martin has completely flopped around the scoreboard now. He is now sitting up in first place with the 7 of Justin Harris in second, the 25 of Stephen Gall in third. 74 of Kyle Simmons now in fourth, and Brent Thompson in the 45 now in fifth place, with the 001 of Mr. Doyle Boyd now pitting. Looked like the 2 of Aaron Vogt there getting a little squirrely out on the track. Probably those fresh tires haven't had a chance to warm up yet. So a few changes here in this one. Aaron Martin still running in first place up there with about a 16-second gap between him and the 7 of Justin Harris. 40 laps complete in this one now of 125. Mr. Doyle Boyd now 2 laps down from being in the pits. Aaron Vogt in the 2 still trying to get his lap back here. Got to get around the 27 of Aaron Martin to be able to do so, and then make his way back around the track again. So it's going to be interesting to see. Not entirely sure here. Let's see, the 27, so the 27 is rapidly approaching up behind the 2 and the 45 there. So the 2 possibly looking at going back down to 2 laps down. A little contact with the wall there, but he holds on to it. Going ahead and letting the 45 of Brent Thompson on by him there. Let's take a look up front now of our current leader, which is just now coming up behind these 2 here. You see the gap there between himself and the 7 of Justin Harris, but I'm wondering here how long this is going to stick, because if you remember, the 27 had pit way earlier on, probably about 10 to 15 laps or so before everyone else. He'll be looking at pitting again, probably just shy of about lap 60 or so. Let's bring our pit box back up here let's have a look at that again here. Pit stop lap. Let's check that out real quick. Yeah. So Aaron Martin there, he pitted around lap 15. We know these drivers started coming in around 30 or so to go ahead and begin pitting. Looks like we see 36, 35, 36, 37. So yeah, somewhere around that. So that would put yeah, just before lap 60, the 27 of Aaron Martin gonna need to come in and pit again for fuel. So best person set up for an advantage here is the 7 of Justin Harris, as he is currently running in second with a 16-second gap. He'll make that up in no time as soon as the 27 of Aaron Martin there decides to come in. Let's go ahead and change our view up once again. Look at some of the other action going on around here. Is the 45 and the 2 of Aaron Vogt still right there around one another. Vogt still a lap down in this one. Mr. Doyle Boyd managing to come out of the pits just 2 laps down now. Justin Harris holding on to that second place position, trying his best to get around the 001 there, who is currently 2 laps down, and he does so pretty effectively. 001 not seeming to be putting up a fight there. Can definitely appreciate when the lap down cars give those respect to the guys on the lead lap there. Don't give them too much trouble. And this allows the 7 of Justin Harris there to close the gap even more between himself and the leader. So it's a little less work he's got to do when the 27 decides to pit in, as we are now nearing, let's see, looking at the track map, we just started lap 47 here, so look for that 27 car to start coming in probably within the next 10 laps or so to get topped off on fuel. Now what we don't know is whether or not the 27 took tires that first trip into the pits around lap 15 or so. I want to say by his pit stop time he most likely did, unless he was getting some damage repaired, but I think it's a fair safe bet to say he most likely did take tires. So maybe this time around, to try and shorten his time in pits, he comes in and just gets some fuel so he's not too terribly far behind. It's the 25 of Stephen Gall there is now currently in third, with just about a maybe a 3 to 4 second gap between him and the 7 of Justin Harris. So not a major gap there between the two. We may very looks like we've got our first caution here. Looks like the 2 of Aaron Vogt had a little bit of a loss of control there coming around the turn. I'm not sure why that would have triggered a caution, though. He didn't crash. He held on to it. Unless, yeah, maybe in this little section right here is maybe where he, yep, that's what did it right there. That rear end come right on around, and he's heading straight for the pit wall there. So, yeah, that was definitely the reason for the caution there. So let's get back to the live view here. A lot of drivers probably going to go ahead and take the opportunity here to go ahead and pit. Still got a lot of racing to go in this one. I don't foresee anyone taking tires here. Definitely does help out the 27 of Aaron Martin there, who is currently the leader. to come in, and it looks like he's yep, the 27 of Aaron Martin going ahead and taking some tires here.
Second time I overdrove my pit box.
And don't know how that's going to pay off for him there, as that definitely gives the 7 of Justin Harris the advantage, puts him out front. He is the first one out of pits here. 74 of Kyle Simmons right behind him. The 25 of Stephen Gall now out. Not sure if the 27 of Aaron Martin intended to get tires there, but that definitely hurt him. We'll see just how much it affects anything here, as these guys are under caution. So it at least puts the group back together. Gets everybody grouped back up, and kind of a fresh start, so to speak. It looks like the 001 of Mr. Doyle Boyd went ahead and parked it for the remainder of the race, so we are now...
KFBS, Justin. Don't let that happen. Roger.
And now down to 6 drivers in this one. 2 of Aaron Vogt still down 2 laps here now. Everyone else is on the lead lap. Pace car is off, and these guys are getting ready to go green now. And they're off here. Guess that is the positive of short track racing. The cautions don't take near as long now, as the 27 of Aaron Martin coming through the inside there with a bold move. Quick dart down to the inside. Oh, little closeness there between him and the 25 of Stephen Gall. Looking to try and get his way around the 74 of Kyle Simmons and up there to the 7 of Justin Harris. Martin doing everything he can here, try and get the edge, possibly even shooting the turns, overshooting the turns a bit, but he does get around the 74 of Kyle Simmons. The 25 of Stephen Gall kind of keeping his distance a little bit there. Looks like a little bit of a net code going on for the 74 of Kyle Simmons. So far, so good, though. Doesn't appear to be frequent, so that is always a good thing. iRacing will kick you if your network quality goes below a certain threshold, so I don't think he's going to have to worry about that as long as it doesn't continue on. As the 25 of Stephen Gall now battling the 27 of Aaron Martin for that second place spot. Trying to get back up to the 7 of Justin Harris and maybe have himself another battle here. These guys, most of them taking fuel and stuff in the pit stops here, should get us to around lap 80-ish before anyone needs to come in again. And gonna be a wild one to see how that's gonna play out. If we don't have any more cautions here, may have to be a green flag pit stop just shy of the finish. Definitely enough to keep things interesting here, as the 25 of Stephen Gall getting a little sideways there. Just did have the nose out just enough to get past the 7 of Justin Harris just briefly before dropping back into second again. But now he's got to worry about the 27 of Aaron Martin now, trying to get that position back as well. Yeah, all these drivers fighting for a spot here. Definitely enough to keep you on the edge of your seat. Well, the 27 of Aaron Martin getting a little squirrely. He's able to hold on to it, though. As the 25 of Stephen Gall locks in his spot for second for now. Going to try to make a move on the 7 of Justin Harris. nothing doing in that pass, so he's going to drop back down to single file now. There's the 2 of Aaron Vogt back there trying to get himself caught back up. Still 2 laps down in this one. 59 laps completed this time through out of 125, so definitely been a seat grabber here, this one. As the 25 shoots back to the inside, gonna try to get a clean pass on the 7 of Justin Harris. And it looks like that battle that I was talking about earlier is gonna try and take shape here, as these drivers are gonna confuse the leaderboard once again, bouncing back and forth. The 25 of Stephen Gall getting a bit of a push there from the 27 of Aaron Martin, just enough to keep him out front briefly. We're going to have to see how the dust settles on this one, because these guys are definitely having themselves a battle. Those top 3 positions right there, and I do believe the 74 of Kyle Simmons trying to play it smart, kind of sitting back to see what happens, because I think he's anticipating somebody making a mistake here that could wind up yielding some positive results here for himself, as the 25 and the 7 still going at it here. Door-to-door action. And I mean both drivers just going at it here. The 27 of Aaron Martin staying more to the inside on this one, as the 7 just makes a dominant dive to the inside, catches the quarter panel of the 27 of Aaron Martin, shoots him down the track a little bit there. And that is exactly what I think the 74 of Kyle Simmons was trying to avoid. He knew that the mistake was coming, and just wasn't sure who it was going to be by there. But as we found out there, the 27 of Aaron Martin suffered drastically from that one, now dropping back down to 5th, just 1 ahead of the 2 of Aaron Vogt, currently 2 laps down now. It's going to be interesting to see if the 27 can fight back through that, get back up there with these guys, and see if they can go back to having themselves a battle. And it definitely looks like the 25 of Stephen Gall got the better end of the stick from that situation, as he was able to get himself out past there, past the 7, and taken back over that first place position. But you can go ahead and rest assured the 7 is not going to sit there and lay dormant for too long. Guy can make some time up on a track quick, fast, and in a hurry. And there's the 45 of Brent Thompson now. Got himself up in 3rd place after getting around the 74 of Kyle Simmons. Looks like he may try and make himself a move here. Quite a few battles in this one. These guys have definitely done a great job of keeping it interesting for sure. The 25 of Stephen Gall trying to hold steady in that lead there, keeping just about 0.04 of a second worth of a gap between himself and the 7 of Justin Harris. These two have definitely had some good battles here this afternoon. Now, I do apologize. I keep saying evening talking about this race, because IRL time we are about 7:17. But the track sim time, because this track, New Hampshire, does not have night lighting, these guys are having to race at noon in sim time. So clearly it's not evening or even late afternoon in the sim, so the track temperature is much higher than what it would be if this was an evening race. Definitely don't want the drivers out there having battles like this with no track lighting. It would make for a disastrous afternoon and probably a hefty repair bill from the garage. It's the 45 of Brent Thompson got about a second's, just almost 2 seconds worth of a gap between himself and the leader there, that of the 25 of Stephen Gall. Not giving up though, and he is definitely staying in the fight now as the 74 of Kyle Simmons to the inside there, now on the outside. Looks like the 27 of Aaron Martin just back there shy of the 74 of Kyle Simmons, trying to make his way back up there. May have another battle in store here shortly, as it looks like the 7 of Justin Harris has kind of backed himself off just a little from the 25. Maybe trying to take some of the pressure off here before applying it again, see if the 25 makes a mistake. The 45 of Brent Thompson now just over a 2-second gap from the leader, with the 7 of Justin Harris just under 0.05 of a second behind him. We may be making our way towards another battle here shortly. Possibly also nearing the next pit stop here, as the 74 of Kyle Simmons kind of gets into the wall just a tad bit back there. Manages to keep it between the lines though, so no harm, no foul there. The 2 of Aaron Vogt just back there in the distance, still 2 laps down now. He needs another caution for sure, at least to get one of his laps back. Not sure he's gonna get it though. These guys seem pretty focused and dedicated to keeping this thing on green flag racing here. A couple of sparks flying on the track. Not sure if that was from the, looked like it may have come from the 45, possibly from the 74 of Kyle Simmons, not entirely sure. The 74 just kind of comfortably riding where he's at here. Looks like the 27 of Aaron Martin may be taking it a bit easier as well. Tire wear probably wearing back in now, causing these drivers to drive just a tad bit slower and conservative into the turns, keep from washing up into that outside wall. The 7 of Justin Harris keeping himself at about 0.05 of a second just behind the 25 of Stephen Gall. We are almost to the conclusion of this one. Lap 74 this time through here. These drivers are counting down the laps quickly here. We'll definitely know we are towards the tail end of this thing when that lap counter goes from saying lap 75 of 125 down to X amount of laps to go, which we are nearing ever so slightly. The 74 of Kyle Simmons and the 45 of Brent Thompson just kind of Sunday strolling through here, not really looking to battle one another. I think they're kind of waiting more towards the a last little bit of lappage there to try and really push the limits here, maybe trying to save the tires. I don't think anyone wants to head into pits on this next green flag pit stop and take tires. It may be the smart choice. Again, can't really say. I haven't. I have raced New Hampshire, but I have not raced it enough to know if there's any reward to skipping out on tires here. You know, my gut instinct wants to tell me that there isn't, because it is a short track. But at the same time, is it going to make enough of a difference to really be able to pick up on your leaders and try and make it past them? I'm not sure the risk is worth the reward in this one, so we'll see what these guys do, because that should be rapidly approaching here shortly. As they complete lap 77 now, heading into 78 this time through. The 74 of Kyle Simmons going to stick to that inside, and looks like the two got a little close there between him and the 45 of Brent Thompson. Is able to get around him and now puts him in third place there with about a 4-second gap from the leader, which means he's about 3.5 seconds behind the 7 of Justin Harris. So maybe now he's past the 45, he may try to give it a little more in this. We'll see what happens here. Don't think the 45 is going to try and hold on to that 4th place position, though. Looks like he may want to get back around the 74 of Kyle Simmons. Then there is also the 27 of Aaron Martin, who was just up front not that long ago. Looking like he may try and start trying to make a move here too. Things tend to get a little more hectic, if you will, as the lappage winds down. Coming through this time now, lap 80 of 125. Looks like these three drivers here trying to tighten up a bit. We'll see what comes of it now, as the 27 of Aaron Martin getting close to the 45 of Brent Thompson. Getting a little loose in the steering, it appeared. He hangs on to it, though. Now, again, I mentioned earlier the scheduled race next week for these guys is out at Oxford Plains. I believe that'll be most of, if you've been tuning in with us throughout the season, first time the series has went to Oxford Plains, so it'll be a whole new venture there, and it's a short track, so definitely going to be lots of room for mistakes, more strategy. Definitely going to keep things interesting, no doubt. 82 laps now completed of 125, and we are ever so slightly nearing towards that X amount of laps to go marker now, as the change is. These guys have gone from single file to one on the inside, and oh, the 45 of Brent Thompson trying to hold on to it. Kind of nudges the nose of the 27 of Aaron Martin there. Everybody's able to hang on to it, though, but the gap now between the 45 and the 74 of Kyle Simmons has grown a decent amount there after that little bit of a hiccup. That kept us green flag, though. Boy, that would have been the prime time there for a caution for sure. These drivers are nearing needing to make an entry into pits to get freshened up, so that definitely would have been the time for a caution. We did not get it, though. These guys are going to keep it green flag racing, so we should start seeing drivers branch off and hit pits. We'll see what happens here. So we are now on lap 84. been a very good race so far. Let's take a jump up front with our leader. See how he is doing. The 25 of Stephen Gall with the 7 of Justin Harris just hanging back there behind him, almost about a second's worth of a gap here. Gonna look to try and maybe tighten it up here as he's kind of fluctuating. Now he has hit the second mark, so we will see what happens. The 25 has been the leader now for the last, 30-ish laps or so, maybe. The 2 of Aaron Vogt going ahead and pitting here. That could be a smart move on his part. He is already some laps down. The only question here, let's get our pit box back up here. The only question about that, as we look at it here, you can see the pit stops. Is that going to be enough to get him to the end of the race without having to come in just shy of the checkered finish? And that's going to be the big question
25
here.
pitting this time.
25 now coming in to make his pit. And that is definitely going to be the question here for sure. So let's take a look and see what these drivers do. We're going to hide that pit box now as the 25 of Stephen Gall and the 7 of Justin Harris. Looks like everyone coming in now. That only puts the 2 of Aaron Vogt down 3 laps. Depending on what these drivers take in pits, he could really make some things up here. 25 overshooting. Shooting his pit box just a little bit. Looks like the 7 of Justin Harris taking tires here.
Too far ahead.
Let's see who gets out of pits first. Quite a few drivers here taking tires. The 2 of Aaron Vogt now on 2 laps down. Got one of his laps back there. Don't know if he's going to have enough time to make it back around here before our current leader gets out of the pits. I'm interested to see this jump right here between the 25 and the 7 as the 7 goes ahead and heads on out. And the 25 not far behind him. So you can best believe we're about to have us another battle here as the 25 of Stephen Gall getting
all that time gained for nothing.
A little hot in the turn there. The 25 of Stephen Gall there with several wins this season so far. Justin Harris in the 7 also with a few wins. So both of these drivers know what it's like to feel that rush during the race and the satisfaction from winning a race here in this series with this league. So definitely, you know they want it. Most of the time when drivers win, man, they spend a majority of their time waiting. You know, they're just anticipating that next win. So be interesting to see who gets it here tonight as we now cross into lap 90 now. About 5 more laps to go before we hit that 30 to go marker. And you know what that means, man. That means it is down to business. That's where you will see these drivers really push the limits here. We could see some mistakes. We could not see any mistakes. We could see some results that really ultimately pay off for one of these guys. I look for the 25 of Stephen Gall to definitely push his limits here. He's been leading most of the race. Just about a 2-second gap between him and the 7 of Justin Harris. The key here is gonna be to try your best not to get too overzealous into the turns here, so much to the fact that you cause yourself to make a mistake. Let's cycle the view around just a bit here, swap things up. We will pay attention to the timing tower now as the 27 of Aaron Martin now sitting in 4th position. Brent Thompson in the 45 now in 5th, and it looks like the 2 of Aaron Vogt, they're getting a little loose. He hangs on to it though. What a save, man. Drivers kind of spaced out a little bit after that last set of pit stops. The 7 and the 25 keeping about the same amount of distance in their gap, still at about 2.5 seconds. So we're not going to see a battle just yet. We will keep an eye on that tower though to see if that gap shrinks. Once he gets under the 1 second mark of having that much of a gap between himself and the 7 of Justin Harris, we know that things are getting ready to heat up. Give us a chance to take a look around the track here at some of these other drivers. Aaron Martin here in the 27 has done a good job getting himself out of the lap down situation. Even with the early pit around lap 15, yeah, I wasn't sure how that was going to affect him. Still not sure, to be 100% honest. It could wind up biting him, as he may have to come in, 5 to 10 laps sooner than everybody else at the, near the finish of this one. But depending on what he's got left down there in the pit box, it may wind up benefiting him. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Still not bad though, going from lap down traffic to now holding strong there in his 4th place position. Gonna look to try and close the gap between himself and the 74 of Kyle Simmons, and maybe those two have a bit of a battle there. Looks like the 25 of Stephen Gall has now shrunk his gap between him and the 7 of Justin Harris, almost down to a flat 2 seconds there. Not quite, and he's looks like he is possibly sending it in the turns there, as we see the times fluctuating a bit. So we'll still continue to keep our eye on that one. 29 laps to go in this one now. So we are rounding this thing out. Let's take a look at some of our other drivers out here on the track. Take a look at the Kyle Simmons in the 74. See how he's doing there about in the turns. Keeping things pretty smooth here. As you can hear the car kind of backfiring and popping a little bit. Lots of movement going on in the wheel. You can hear the tires just squealing away out there, man, as they are burning the rubber right off. Fixing to be 27 to go in this one. These guys have done an excellent job tonight keeping the race here green flag. Definitely been fun to watch as we jump up front with the 2 of Aaron Vogt, who's currently running in 6th now, still 2 laps down. He did manage to stay at just 2 laps down on the pit stop there. We know the one pit stop, I think it was the first pit stop at the beginning of the race, kind of put him the laps down. That caution is what really bit him in the butt. I think if he hadn't had that caution, I think he'd have been all right. It's getting a little loose here. You hear him back out of the throttle there. Keeps it straight and steady now. Let's jump up front here with our leader, Justin Harris, and ride up front with him for a bit. Nice and steady in the turns there, easing into the throttle. You don't hear him stomping the pedal to the floor there. Let's check in with the 25 of Stephen Gall, kind of see the views from what he's looking at here as you see the 7 of Justin Harris just up in the distance now, as the 25 of Stephen Gall has gotten that gap down to a 1.5 seconds. So he is slowly gaining on that 7 car. And he's going to do his best to get up there for sure. Still shrinking it ever so slightly. We'll see which driver is going to be able to capitalize here as we near the 20 to go marker. Let's go hop up front with the 27 of Aaron Martin, who's just behind the 74 of Kyle Simmons. Looks like he may try and make him a move here, possibly. You can see the exaggerated wheel turns there. That means that his tires are probably about as smooth as a baby's butt right now. Well, as he shoots to the inside, gonna have to watch the wash up here. Bit of brakes being applied, I'm sure. We can't see it on the telemetry on the screen, but the 74 of Kyle Simmons goes just to his inside there. Let's take a look outside the car so we can really see what's happening here. May not have a battle between the 25 and the 7 just yet, but it definitely looks like it's going to shape up to be one here between the 27 and the 74. There's a little bit of a gap has formed now between the two. We are officially at the 20 laps to go marker. This thing is winding down rather quickly. The gap between the 25 and the 7 still at about a 1.5 seconds, so not close to having a battle with those two guys yet. However, we will jump back up front here as we near the 5 to go marker, so we do not miss what happens with the leadership change here, if any. We have seen Justin Harris really pull out some victories at some of these short tracks, so tonight may be no different. As the 2 of Aaron Vogt just back there in the distance doing his best to hang on. The gap between the 25 and the 7 now just over a 1.5 seconds. So the 25 losing a little bit of time. Still got time to make it up, though. Excellent, clean, competitive racing this evening. Love to see it. This has definitely been an enjoyable race here. We've had several different battle positions going on. Let's take a look now and see what's happening with the 45 of Brent Thompson, who is currently in 5th position here. Really no fear of him losing that with the 2 of Aaron Vogt being 2 laps down. He just basically has to Sunday stroll this one and not push the envelope too far here. Got a decent bit of a stretch there between himself and the next car ahead, which would be that of the 74 of Kyle Simmons. Officially at the 15 laps to go marker. However, the 45 of Brent Thompson has the possibility of going a lap down, as well as the 7 of Justin Harris is rapidly approaching him, as he made a little bit of contact with the wall there just now. $14 laps to go in this. This one has just about taken up all of our time this afternoon. We had the track booked from 6 to 8, and we are going to be cutting this one close. And so we take a look at the 2 of Aaron Vogt there.
I'd love to come race you, but this thing's a handful.
Stephen Gall has increased his gap by about a second now, so now sitting at 2.5 seconds, telling the 7 of Justin Harris that he may have this one in the bag. He is having a bit of a hard time gaining on him here, as he is now pushed closer to a 3-second gap between him and the 7 of Justin Harris, so we may not get our battle here after all. Things may just continue to ride the way that they are, with the 7 of Justin Harris about 3 seconds up ahead there. Nearing the 10 to go marker. Let's take a look up front with the 25 of Stephen Gall. Let's ride up front with him for a bit here for the last few laps before we jump up front to the 7 of Justin Harris. Yeah, you could see the 25 of Stephen Gall. Got some extra play going on in the steering wheel there. Those tires are probably about wore slap out. You see him just ever so slightly turning the wheel, but that thing's still wanting, that rear end's wanting to come around. And that is definitely something you have to fight hard to avoid. His gap now between him and the 7 of Justin Harris has increased to a 4-second gap. So he is definitely losing time on that tire wear there. Let's hop up front with the 7 of Justin Harris, see how he's managing in these turns. Looks like his tires are hanging on pretty well. killing the RPMs there. No throttle whatsoever into the turn, just kind of coasting. And then applying a bit of throttle there on the exit. Very, very safe and excellent strategy there. 8 laps to go in this one now. He's definitely engaging the clutch here in the turns, probably in an effort to try and conserve fuel, because we talked about it earlier, but with the way the pit stop strategies were lining up, as it had the potential to put these guys just shy of being able to make it to the finish. So when you hear the engine really cut out there in the turns, that's because he is pushing. Now you see the RPMs dropping all the way down. He is pushing the clutch in and riding the clutch into the turns here. And it's an effective strategy, but it's also one you really got to watch for, because sometimes that rear likes to try to spin out from behind you when you ease back into the clutch, and easing into it is definitely the trick there. He's doing a great job at doing that, keeping that control. While also trying to conserve that fuel. Six laps to go now. Let's take us to the outside view here as we get ready to wind this one down and call it a day. Don't forget also, the action is not over for this league this week, as the Palmetto Racing League's Truck Series takes to the track at Talladega this weekend for 50 laps of super speedway action. And if you watch the Daytona race and any of the Talladega races earlier on in the season, as this has been a lengthy season, the Talladega and Daytona races have been slap full of action. So it'll be should be another interesting race on Saturday. Be sure to tune in and catch that. We have the stream already scheduled, so you can click that remind button and it will notify you. I think at the duration that you set, you can set it to send you a notification just before, an hour or even 2 hours out, if I'm not mistaken. Another easy way to keep up with it too is to also like and subscribe to the channel, and YouTube will notify you as soon as we go live, so you can tune straight in. We usually go live roughly about 5 to 10 minutes before the actual race starts, to kind of give everybody a chance to get the notification, get tuned in and watch, so that you don't miss what's happening. As we are now on the 3 laps to go marker, so this one is almost a wrap here. It looks like maybe the 2 of Aaron Vogt had to pit early here. Maybe not, didn't have enough fuel to make it to the finish. And I'm kind of wondering the same thing about the 7 here. Is he going to have enough to make it at least 2 more times around? That is all that's left to go in this one. He has been doing a lot of fuel conservation though, with using that clutch in the turns there. It hasn't affected him too terribly. Most of these guys aren't really using throttle in the turns anyway, so they don't run the risk of eating the tires up extremely fast or spinning out, having a loss of control there. White flag lap this time through, and that is going to be a wrap for this race here tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. As it looks like the 74 of Kyle Simmons has now made it past the 25 of Stephen Gall.
Good strat, Justin. I don't know what the hell you did.
To move himself up into second place there. And the 7 is going to win him another one here tonight as he crosses the checkered line.
Good racing, Justin. Good win.
Thanks, buddy.
Let's see. It looks like our results for this one have populated, so let's get those up real quick. Justin Harris taking home the win tonight in the 7. Kyle Simmons in the 74 finishing in 2nd. Stephen Gall finishing in 3rd. Brent Thompson finishing in 4th. Aaron Martin finishing in 5th place tonight. Aaron Vogt in the 2 finishing in 6th. And Mr. Doyle Boyd in 7th. That is your official results for tonight's race there, as the 7 of Justin Harris getting his victory donuts in. He may have just run out of fuel there, or he decided to call an end to it early. That looks like it. That is all for him tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us this evening. We hope you enjoyed another exciting race here, brought to you from New Hampshire live, thanks to our partners over at VB Racing. Again, don't miss the racing this weekend from the Truck Series on Saturday, live at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to tune in to that as they complete 50 laps at Talladega, and that should be another fun one to watch. But until then, y'all enjoy the rest of your week, and we hope to see you again on Saturday.